On this How to Cook with Bill Cook, still Bill Cook, I'm making tacos al pastor because they're amazing. They're awesome. They're incredible. A lot of people don't know how to do this, so I figured I better show you before you go your entire life without ever eating this. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it is worth every second of effort. And you'll know why the second you eat one of these. So join me and let's get started. All right, so we're gonna do the marinade here. We have half a block of Achiote Paste, comes in the box. We have the Guajillo powder here. This is a chili powder. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of that, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of cumin. Just, these are rough estimates. 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of Mexican ground oregano. It is different than Italian or Greek oregano, but if you only have those, you can always use it. It just won't have exactly the same flavor. Now we have a little bit of cayenne pepper, very non-traditional for al pastor. But if you like a little kick to it, you're going to like just a little bit. I put about half a tablespoon in there. Not a lot. Salt. This is nothing too fancy. Table salt. Half a tablespoon, and about the same amount of fresh ground black pepper. I added it. That's enough to see it all. We have 3/4 of a cup of vinegar and 1 cup of pineapple juice. And we're going to mix this all together. The vinegar, you can use just a regular white vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar because it has a little more flavor. Plus, pork chops and applesauce, something like that, right? So we're going to mash this up. The Achiote Paste does not want to mash up easily. I'm using potato masher to kind of smash it around. As soon as it hits the liquid, it starts to, comply a little bit. But as you can see, it has the consistency of clay. Keep mashing it until you got no more lumps. Check it with a fork. If you find any little bits, mash them up. But that's pretty much it. Moving on to the pork. This is a pork shoulder roast. You want a boneless pork shoulder roast. As you can see right there, there is a bone in this one. So we're going to skip over the painful butchering part. Cut this into 1/4-inch slices. You want big slabs like that if you can get it. Use a very sharp slicing knife, and the colder the meat, the better. If you stick the roast in the freezer for half an hour, 40 minutes, it will help make this cutting so much easier. So do that instead of the way I did it. And if you find a bone-in roast, don't buy it because it's so hard. All right, you've got everything cut. As you can see, once you take the bone out, you're not left with beautiful, huge pieces, but you work with it anyways because it's fine. Mix this up really, really well. Make sure there's no dry spots. Get the marinade all over the pork. This is going to take fingers and that, but the smell is lovely. It almost smells a little bit like Worcestershire, but it's amazing. So just work with that and put it in the fridge. When you're done, wrap it in some plastic wrap here, and you're going to put that in the fridge 2 hours minimum, 4 hours max. There's a lot of acid in this, and pork and acid don't react super well. So don't overdo it. Pineapple. How do you know if a pineapple is ripe? Well, that's a trick. See the eye at the top and the eye at the bottom should be the same size. Doesn't matter what color the pineapple it is, how big the pineapple is, anything else. Just the eye on the top and the eye on the bottom are the only thing you have to worry about. If those are the same size, you're good to go. Now, cut the top and bottom off the pineapple as those are not edible. Neither is the skin. So you're going to want to take that outside of it off and make sure you get all the eyes. There's all those little spikes in there in the bits. You want to save as much as you can, but you're going to cut a good 1/2 inch off of this thing all the way around before you're done. So take as much time or as little time as you want, but do not miss a spot. No one wants to eat that bit. Please be particular. Okay, once that's done, you're going to need 2 big thick slices, about 1 inch thick. That's going to be the base and the top of our oven shawarma thingy sort of dealy. All right, so we have 3 wooden bamboo skewers. We're going to stick them into the piece of pineapple here. As you see, we didn't bother coring it because we're not actually going to eat this. This is for flavor. We get that set up like that, and we're going to stack our pork on it. Now we cut one more slice, which is going to be our top. That goes directly on top of the pork once we get it all skewered and stacked up. Save the rest of the pineapple. We'll be using that a little bit later. All right, working on our pork. Just grab the pieces. As you can see, after my awful butchering job of getting the shoulder blade out of the roast, I have some pieces that aren't exactly perfect slabs. So just do the best you can and try and make this thing go vertical as even as possible. Imagine it is reverse Jenga. Just keep stacking until you run out of pork, basically. And that's about it. We'll fast forward here and skip ahead a little because this is going to take a few minutes. All right, we've got it all basically done, and the top piece of pineapple goes on top. Now, as you can see, it's not very stable and already wants to fall over. It might fall over. It won't be the end of the world. You could always make 2 stacks if you wanted to. They do sell a special rack for doing this. You can buy that on the Amazons or anything like that. But if you just want to do it this way, it's fine. If it falls over, try and pick it up and rotate it so that it, different side is facing up here and there. When it comes out of the oven after 2.5 hours, it's been in there at 300 degrees, 2.5 hours, and then you crank the temperature to 375 for the last half hour. And that gives you the beautiful, lovely crispiness. You can see all the juice in the pan. We, occasionally baste it with that juice while you're going. Slice off like this so that you get little pieces as you go along. This is the way you would do it if you were doing it like on a shawarma vertical rotisserie. You would shave it down like that, although it would be cooking it while you're doing it, so it makes it super handy. But you still get the same idea here as we're going along. Once you get to a certain point, pull the sticks because you're not going to get much more out of that. And then continue chopping till you get small little bite-sized pieces like this. Now just chop, chop, chop until you get little bits. Nothing too big. You want them 1/2 inch tops, something like that. And that is basically the first step towards being ready to make an al pastor taco. You have the basic part of the meat. We still have to fry this, however. So let's throw that in the pan now and get it crispy. Now I've got a little bit here. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, otherwise you'll never get it crispy. But cook this for a few minutes on a medium-high heat, and you're going to get some crispy bits on the pork. You don't need to add any oil or anything else. The marinade, the pork, everything else has its own kind of juices to it. And all that stuff's going to start caramelizing and making it wonderful and lovely. As you can see here, it's starting to get that beautiful caramelization that you want. That is the trademark of al pastor. At this point, it's probably not a bad idea to taste test a piece or two. See if it's done to your likeness. If it should still be soft and delicious, but have a little bit of crispiness on the outside. And when it's done, you can throw a lid on it and start getting ready to assemble some tacos. All right. This is not the fastest taco meal in the world. I started this at, 10 o'clock this morning? It's 6:45. Takes a while. You got to marinate things. Things take a long time and stuff. And it's officially 6:45 somewhere. Sorry. Tacos, Dos Equis. Why did I say I'm sorry? Come on. It's mandatory. Again, I don't know what the fine is for not having a beer at that moment, but I'm not willing to pay it. Okay, we have our wonderful, lovely taco shells here. Our tortillas. These are friggin' delicious and amazing. And they are coated in the chili oil and super, super yummy. I got one more in here. Oh my goodness. There's so many good ones. Yeah, we're gonna make a lot of tacos because these things are friggin' amazing. All right, that should get us started. The meat, voila. By the way, it's not real. It's fake. Ha ha. but it's cool though. And it reminds me of something. That's better. All right, look at this meat. Look at this, it's amazing. You want that little bit of crispiness. You have to get it crispy. If you're doing this with the shawarma on the side thing, good for you. Send me your address, I'll be over soon. You're awesome, you're my hero. But if you're doing that, it's already crispy because it's got the rotisserie thing and it's going around. And you just shave it off onto the plate. You know, the half moon plate thing, and shave it off and make tacos. And you keep going and it keeps crispying up as you go. So that is really the way this is supposed to be done. If you don't have a shawarma, congratulations, you're like 99% of everyone else. Good for you. Or bad for you. Maybe I'll get one of those things. I love this meal. It's really good. My wife loves this meal. I could probably talk her into it. Sounds like a Christmas present, doesn't it? I don't know.
How much do they cost?
Oh, they're $200-300. And they're like massive and run off of propane. So you can't use it inside. Other than that, why wouldn't you want one of those? Yeah, okay. So anyways, as lovely as this meat is, it must go over there now. Guacamole is not a traditional thing, although it's traditional. I like guacamole. Guacamole, good. This is store-bought guacamole because our store makes great guacamole. I live in the Southwest. We can get good guacamole. We can't get good avocados. So there's a big difference. This stuff is actually pretty good. My wife is the guacamole queen. I swear to God, her's the best. Absolutely the best. But this is 95% is good. 90% is good. Okay, half is good. She's throwing daggers at me. It's okay. Kidding, she's not. She agrees. It's not worth the effort. So a little guacamole. Everyone loves guacamole. Little guac. Just a little bit on the side here. There you go. Now the traditional ingredients are onion, cilantro, and pineapple. I'm a traditional guy. There is almost never cheese with this. I don't know why the shepherds didn't have cheese. Don't know. But they didn't. I don't use it. The pineapple is mandatory. It goes with the flavors of this, and it is so friggin' good. You gotta put some of this pineapple in here. If you don't have pineapple, you don't have al pastor. Now onions, a little bit of onions. I know I have spoons here. I'm supposed to be using the spoons, but what am I gonna do? Fingers. Yeah, and cilantro. Just a smidge, because not everyone likes cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, congratulations. I think 50% of the population hates cilantro. There are huge portions of the population in Mexico who hate cilantro. So don't feel bad if you don't like cilantro. Just know that I think less of you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Was my dad's old joke? I couldn't think less of you. Oh, Dad, I miss you. Yeah, and those great, wonderful jokes. All right, from this point, these are al pastor tacos. You can put a little sauce on it too, and they're even better. Now, you can make sauce, but this is a great sauce. I don't know if you can see this. If you can find the sauce, this is a great sauce. I don't have anything just bad to say about the sauce. Usually some sort of a green salsa goes great with this. So I can make my own sauce. I can make this sauce. Why? I can buy the sauce. There you go. Tacos al pastor. Perfectly made. That's the way you should eat them. That's the way you should enjoy them. And I thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. And come back for the next one. Hit me the thumbs up thing if you feel like it. I wouldn't mind. It'd be nice. Otherwise, I'll just see you on the next one. Thanks.